Today's guitar lesson will contain words. How's it going, everybody? I decided to take a break from my usual Riff schedule of uploading nonsense and actually do something constructive. So today's video, I'm going to be doing a video about writing riffs on the 7-string guitar, and really just 3 easy tips that you can use and apply to help you kind of get more creative with it and hopefully maybe break out a few boxes. These are only my opinions, bear in mind you don't have to take them seriously, but they are things I found help me and still help me to this day when I am playing and writing. So the first tip I'd definitely give is, if you can, try to play the guitar differently to how you might play a 6. Now what I mean by that is it's very easy and very tempting when you first get the guitar to perhaps down tune it to drop A, if you play a lot of drop C on 6 string or drop D, and kind of do the same sort of riffs and patterns that you might have been doing in the prior tuning. And while there's nothing really wrong with that on the surface, what it can lead to, if you're not careful, is that you're kind of just repeating yourself. All you've really done is taken something that you already wrote or already knew, made it lower. And although sometimes it can help and it does have its creative purposes, it can be quite limiting. So what I typically would recommend is, if you can play in a different tuning to how you normally would, say if you play a lot of drop tunings on 6, maybe try using this in standard. Or if you play a lot of standard tunings in 6, maybe try using this in drop. But the idea is that way it makes both guitars feel distinguishably different, and it makes you kind of think outside of the box. You're not just going for habits, you're having to think more and do things differently, which can lead to some really creative riffs being wrote. Now the second bit of advice I give, just I'll change this tone over, is don't just play the low string. Do remember that you do have other strings. Now, there's nothing wrong with riffing out on this string, and it's definitely, it can work if what you like to do is stuff like this. I'm not here to say that's wrong, but what I am saying is you do have 6 additional strings that you can also use, and they're all equally as usable as this low string. Now, the way I kind of tend to circumvent this, or when I'm trying to write, is I'll actually start in the middle of the guitar, like I might start on the E or the A, and I'll work in the low B string every now and again, maybe bring it in for a pre-chorus or as part of the chorus, or I might use it as an alternate octave to a chord or note that I already have. A good example of this, like a riff I kind of wrote, where it's not so much working in the B string, but just a riff that excludes it, is this. Now that riff there, I actually just heard, doesn't actually use any of this low string here, up until later on in the video and song where I actually decide to use it. But the point there is that I'm using more of the guitar that way, and I'm taking it in a different direction than I might have done otherwise if I just started writing on a slow string. Again, like I said, it's not wrong to use it, and you should use it as much as you like, but it's definitely worthwhile considering that you do have multiple options when using this guitar opposed to just this one here. Anyway, last bit of advice and last tip, and it's something I've mentioned in my debunking video I did a few months ago, and I've kind of poked a little bit of fun at from time to time, is that you don't have to just play one genre. This is advice that you can apply to any guitar, but there's definitely a stigma when it comes to the 7-string that it's because it's a low-tuned instrument, its only purpose is writing heavy riffs. Now really, it's at your discretion what you actually want to do with it, but I definitely recommend, wherever you can, just try something a bit different every now and again. You might be very surprised at what you come up with, and it's definitely not worth boxing yourself into one genre or mindset, because you're going to impose a limit on yourself doing that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a little different. More content on the way, I think. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.